Key Canadian industries with tens of thousands of workers are now facing a fresh U.S. tariff deadline and new potential for economic disruption. The United States is going ahead with punishing tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum, and we have the first reaction this morning from Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, speaking at an AI summit in Paris.
Tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum would be entirely unjustified. We are the U.S.'s closest ally. Our economies are integrated. Canadian steel and aluminum is used in a number of key American industries, whether it's defense, shipbuilding, manufacturing, energy, automotive. We should be doing more together, not fighting with each other, but Canadians will stand up strongly and firmly if we need to.
Canada sends tons of steel and aluminum worth billions of dollars to the U.S. every year. In fact, this country is the largest producer of both metals for American industry. As we heard there from the Prime Minister, making Canada a vital source for the U.S. industrial supply chain. But U.S. President Donald Trump is signaling he sees tariffs as a way to revive American steel production and bring industry back inside U.S. borders.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. This is the beginning of making America rich again.
So there is President Trump as he signed the executive order yesterday to hit Canadian steel and aluminum with 25% tariffs. Those will take force on March the 12th, about a week after another tariff deadline for Canada. On March the 4th, Trump's pause on 25% duties on most Canadian imports to the U.S., 10% on Canadian energy. That is supposed to end on that date, the 4th. President Trump is also set to sign yet another executive order today or tomorrow that would trigger U.S. retaliatory tariffs against countries that tax American imports. Canada's retaliation plans could be caught up in that, so we're going to try to sort all of this out for you this morning, beginning with Ashley Burke, who has more on the Prime Minister's response from Paris.
The Prime Minister is calling Donald Trump's tariff threats on aluminum and steel completely unjustified and says if the U.S. doesn't back down, Canada will respond. He spoke briefly on his way into the summit here in Paris.
We will be working with the American administration over the coming weeks to highlight the negative impacts on Americans and Canadians of these unacceptable tariffs. But we'll also be working with our international partners and friends. And if it comes to that, our response, of course, will be firm and clear. We will stand up for Canadian workers. We will stand up for Canadian industries.
Justin Trudeau is under pressure from those workers, industries, and the opposition to fire back with swift countermeasures. But Trudeau stopped short of saying what Canada's response would be.
Should you reciprocate dollar for dollar with tariffs on aluminum and steel?
As usual, we hope that it will not come to that. We will work with the American administration and highlight that imports of Canadian steel and aluminum create thousands, if not millions, of jobs and support families across the United States. We have been doing things together in an extraordinarily integrated way for many, many years.
Now, the Prime Minister did have a chance to speak to U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance at this AI summit on the sidelines. A senior Canadian official said Trudeau brought up the impact the tariffs would have in Ohio, Vance's home state, where a trade war could drive up the price on Canadian goods and hurt the economy. We also saw Vance on his way in. He didn't stop and respond to questions as he walked by.
Why are you slapping tariffs on steel and aluminum? Why are you slapping tariffs?
Trudeau, along with speaking to the U.S., said that he'll be talking to European Union leaders to coordinate a response. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Paris.